Hey, Zalon, today it's May 14th, and if you're up to date and been keeping track of everything that comes out from Dr. Hinshaw and the Alberta government, you know today is an important day. Today is that first marker of when Stage 1 relaunch is going to happen. So some businesses that we've been waiting, some of us that have some pretty awful haircuts right now, so some barbershops might be opening up, and we might be able to get that taken care of. This week, the government released a few different specific guidelines to different areas of our economy with some guidelines on how they can open up. And there was one that was written for churches or other places of worship. And you might have heard that there's been some provisions on that, and you might be wondering what we're thinking as a church. And so I wanted to give you just a brief update on that. The government has opened up the door for churches to gather again, though they say right at the beginning that they still recommend that churches do not gather. So we're kind of this in between that. They're recommending that we don't, but there are provisions for if churches decide to open. There's a very long, extensive list of things that we'd have to follow. One of them is a people cap, that we'd be allowed no more than 50 people. We would not be allowed singing. We would not be allowed any sort of physical contact. Kids would have to stay very, very close to their families. No nursery ministry, food ministries, nothing like that. So the door's been opened, but it's still pretty restrictive and pretty closed. And so as a church leadership right now, the ministry council and the church staff are working together, evaluating what are our options, what are the different paths that we can take moving forward, and then where do we sense God is leading us to in this time? And so I'm not here with, I'm not announcing that this Sunday we're gathering again or even next Sunday. I think this is going to be a bit of a process, but I wanted to just update you as to what those guidelines are and what our process is going to be. So we are prayerfully evaluating and discussing what we're sensing God to lead us. We see a few different paths. One path is to continue as we have for a time. One is to try to make this 50-person thing work. And another is maybe looking at opening up some of our midweek gatherings that we haven't been doing, maybe having some youth stuff and some young adults and community groups. But what I want to invite you into is that this is something that we need God for. We need His direction, His wisdom, His discernment. And so please join us in praying for God to reveal His path for us as our church. And one way that tangibly that you can participate in this is that our day of prayer is luckily scheduled for next Thursday. Thursday the 21st. And last month we had an evening prayer video chat, and we're going to do that again this next week. It's going to be Thursday from 7 to 8, but we're going to add a second one, and that's going to be at Thursday the same day, but from 2 to 3. And that one will be led by Pastor Lee and Janelle. And we'll be praying for other needs of our church, but the big thing we're going to pray for is this reopening. Both for us as a church, for God to reveal the path forward, but then also for our city, for our province, for our country, for the world as we find our way now out, hopefully, prayerfully, out of this pandemic. So I don't have much to update you. I wish I could say, hey, we're going to open the doors wide and we're going to come worship together. But we're beginning the process of discussion. So please join us in prayer. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me via email or my phone number's in the directory. Give me a call. I'd love to talk through a couple things. But there's some light at the end of the tunnel, but we still got significant ways in our journey. So please continue to pray hard for us as a church. That's it for this week. We're going to continue our series on Come to Me by looking at the story of Martha and Mary and unpack really what happened in this interaction where Martha got really upset that Mary wasn't helping her. And we're going to unpack how does that show us another way that Jesus invites us to come to Him. So hopefully we'll see you online this Sunday, and then hopefully we'll see you in person in not too long. God bless Zion. I miss you, and we'll see you soon.